Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Shalyn. I'm with Resilience and Redemption, and today I want to talk about boundaries, what they are, why it's important to set them, and what it feels like when you might need to set one. So I want to kind of open up with a little bit of why they are important to me growing up, and maybe you can relate to. I didn't really know what a boundary was. I didn't really understand that word. It just kind of was this arbitrary term. And I was in a very bad relationship with a textbook narcissist. It was verbally, emotionally abusive. It was back when I was late teen years, very, very early young adulthood. And I started accepting things that were not true about me. And I allowed things that I should have never allowed. And that became my normal. So being used for my money or used for my body, maybe that's something that you've experienced before. And coming out of that, trying to grow past that and learning, okay, where is the boundary? Where's my boundary? Is it different for everybody? Like it's just this thing that I had such a hard time with. So I think it's an important topic and I think we should talk about it. So I did touch on my past a little bit. Even now, as a mom, as a wife, even as a nurse, I am constantly in these serving positions where I'm expected to give my time, give my energy, give my all the time. And sometimes I feel worn out. I feel exhausted. I feel resentful. And I'm like, why? There's things that I need to address there. And that's my body letting me know, hey, there's been a boundary that's been crossed. So it's up to me as a mature adult to do that work, to figure out where is this boundary, where does it need to be for me to have healthy and good relationships. Because when we don't address them, that is when resentment builds. And our relationships are not sustainable when we have that resentment. So it's up to us to create those healthy boundaries. So today I want to talk about signs that you may need to set a boundary and how to actually set one. Because if you're like me, no one taught you this. Sign number one, you feel resentful. If you're feeling resentful towards someone, that's your body giving you a sign. You're giving more than you can sustain. You need a boundary. For me, it was doing a majority of the household tasks, even though my husband and we both work full time. And I was just so worn down and I was building that resentment and I had to say something. And what actually surprised me is that he had no idea that I was struggling with this, with how much I was caring. He didn't know until I told him. This is just my example, but I had to let him know, like we got to somehow divide these tasks or maybe, hey, you can cook dinner on this day or that sort of thing. So I'm like, we both work. We're both tired. It's just that being that default mama parent, you kind of know how that is. Those of you who are parents. So I had to say something. And it takes, you kind of have to be assertive with it. You kind of have to know your values and know what you want. Understanding when you've been spread too thin so that you can continue to live in a way that is productive, in a way where you have relationships that are meaningful and full of love and life. Like sustainability is so important. So recognizing your values and implementing boundaries where they need to be. Sign number two, you feel exhausted or drained around certain people. If being around someone or doing something leaves you feeling completely drained afterward, chances are you need to set a boundary. For me, it was my kids rushing in the morning when I'm trying to rest. It's my one day off, and all I wanted was to get a good night's sleep and feel rested. That's all I wanted. And they would rush into my bedroom, loud, waking me up. I would wake up already stressed and already overwhelmed. So there needed to be something done there. And this is actually something we're still working on. We're setting a rule, knock before you come into my room. It's very simple. I've always wanted to have a very open door policy with my kids, but it's starting to interrupt my peace. And so this is me protecting my peace. And it's not selfish of me. It helps me to show up as a better mom instead of starting the day completely depleted already. Sign number 3, you feel taken advantage of or taken for granted. If people are coming to you only when they need something, and you notice that and it's something that you don't appreciate, chances are you need to set a boundary with that. You can ask yourself, is this relationship reciprocal? Or am I the only one who keeps giving and giving and giving and giving? So the boundary might be, if someone only shows up when they need something, I limit my availability. So I'm protecting my time, my energy, and my peace. Sign number 4, you say yes when you want to say no. If you're constantly saying yes out of guilt or obligation, that's a sign you might need to set a boundary. Saying yes to everything, which is something that I have been guilty of before, especially when it comes to like work relationships or mostly the work setting. With my family, I've been getting better about saying no. When I am asked to do something, I'll ask myself, is this something that I actually want to do? Or am I saying yes because I'm worried what they might think of me? Am I just afraid of saying no? And if I am not able to, I'll just say, oh, I can't right now. Or that doesn't work for me. It's okay to say no. And then sign number 5, you don't enjoy being around the people you love. Your family or the people that you love so much, you find yourself just kind of not enjoying being around them. And this one really, it hurts because those are the people you love the most. There were times when I was feeling so resentful and exhausted. But the thing is, it's not them. It was my lack of boundaries, my lack of letting them know my needs. And I had a hard time recognizing my needs for a long time. But slowly understanding these feelings that come up for me, the resentment that, like, what is this emotion telling me about this situation? Emotions, yeah, we don't let them take the wheel, but we do use them as tools, what they're trying to key us in on. Realizing it's not them, it's the lack of boundaries. And so instead of feeling taken advantage of, I have my kids help out. Hey, you guys are gonna wipe the table and sweep the floor, please. Load the dishwasher, please, while I pack up the dinner away in Tupperware, whatever reason it is or example it is. Having them help out. If you realize feel like you're being taken advantage of, have them help out. When I started setting those boundaries, asking for help, communicating my needs, protecting my time, I started enjoying being around them again. Boundaries don't push people away, they make relationships sustainable. So we've had that conversation of what that might feel like, how you might recognize that in your own life, in your own emotions, your own body. Let's talk about how to set a boundary. Step 1 is to recognize when you need one, paying attention to those signs that we talked about: resentment, exhaustion, feeling used. Those are all signs. Don't ignore the signs. Listen and see what they're trying to tell you. And then step 2, get clear on what the boundary is. You can't set a boundary if you don't know what it is. So ask yourself, what do I need to protect my peace? My examples: I need help with household tasks. I need uninterrupted sleep in the morning time. I need people to knock before coming into my room. I need time to rest after work. Be specific. And step 3, communicate it clearly. You don't have to be harsh, just clear. I need help with the housework. Can we divide the tasks? I need the mornings to be calmer. Please knock before coming in. Or I can't take on that responsibility right now. You don't have to over-explain. You don't have to justify. You just have to state your boundary. Step 4, hold your boundary, even when it's hard. And you might receive pushback. You might receive some type of negotiation or a debate with your boundary that you are setting, but it's not up for debate and it's not up for negotiation. And you have to hold that boundary. Remember, you are setting it for a reason. It's not that you're just making up this random boundary. No, these are important to you. These are based off of your values, your needs. This is not something that's up for negotiation. This is personal to you. This involves you. And if you need to set a boundary, you set a boundary. And if someone gets mad at you for protecting your peace and holding your boundary, that says more about them than it does about you. The right people will respect your boundaries. And step 5, give yourself grace. You're gonna mess up. You might fall into old habits all over again, being a yes man or yes woman or compromising. And if that does happen, give yourself grace, pick yourself up again. Tomorrow is a new day, you try again. Setting boundaries is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. Boundaries are also biblical. Jesus set boundaries. If you think about it, he withdrew to pray when he needed solitude with God. He went. He had his time. He did say no at times. He was not a people pleaser at all. He knew that the kingdom of God was the most important thing. He stuck up for that. He even told his own disciples, "Get behind me, Satan," to his own disciples. Because he knew his values, what is important. He maintained his relationship with God. He kept his peace so he could pour into others. And if Jesus set boundaries, and he's love, God is love, then so can we out of love. If you're struggling to set boundaries, start small. Pick one area where you feel resentful or exhausted and work on that. Get clear on what you need and communicate it. It's going to feel uncomfortable, but you deserve to protect your peace. You deserve relationships that are sustainable. It's not being mean, it's not being selfish, it's being wise. If this resonated with you, like and subscribe. Leave me a comment sharing one thing that you might need to set a boundary for. And remember, you're not alone in this. Thank you for tuning in with me, and I hope to see you in the next video.